So this is a template of a project charter. Okay, so when you fill these questions, when you answer these questions, you will see that all the problem statement, goal statement, business impact, project scope, project plan, and team selections. Okay, this basically gets into this template. Okay, so Vijay, one clarification: did you press the recording?
Yes, repair.
Yeah, you are record. Okay, fine, thanks. Yeah, so this will be recorded and will be available for people who didn't come. Okay, so that's no problem. So this template is a one-page template: problem statement, goal statement, business impact, project scope, project plan. You need to answer these questions so that you formulate each of the groups and you actually get into the perfect project charter for the project or selector. So this is the first tool, and for that tool, this is the template. Okay, and this is a guidelines. We will coach you how to actually do this so that you become mastery in doing project charter. So next tool is Lean and Six Sigma of management of problems, is breaking the bigger problem into smaller problems. So we call it as a critical to quality. So critical to quality is nothing but the term used which is important to focus to the business, and it could be for service, it could be for customer requirement or for process requirement. So you need to know what goal you want to achieve in that project. The project goal is called as critical to quality. So we have termed everything as quality, even delivery as quality, service as quality, because quality, the Lean Six Sigma is all about driving quality in the system. So you can drive a business CTQ, you can drive a customer CTQ, you can drive an internal CTQ, which could be organizational metrics, or it could be a specific project CTQ. So one of the example of CTQ I just given. So if a company wants to increase profitability, okay, which is a bigger why, either they can increase sales, they can manage cost, or they can improve the working capitals. If they want to increase sales, what are the other elements? Why 11, why 12, why 13, like that. Okay, so you're breaking the objectives into a smaller objectives, smaller goals, so that, let's say, increasing sales can be a black belt project, whereas all others can be a green belt project, or it could be a master black belt project and all other can be a black belt project. So breaking down managing costs, you break it down, and improving working capital, you break it down. Correct. So CTQ is a very important management tool for a project, because you need to break a bigger problem into smaller problems, and this is how you do that. And I would say one of the critical component of a Lean Six Sigma project is setting up the CTQ. Okay. So let's go to the third important tool, management tool, is capturing the voice of internal and external customers. Okay. So when you do a project of this kind of projects, you need to capture the voice of customers. And Keno was a very important researcher who found that the customer actually mind changes. Okay. Today's must be, today's deleter will become tomorrow's must be. Okay. Or today you may be telling, I have an innovative camera in my mobile, but tomorrow when he's going to buy, he expects that as a basic requirements. The other important point is you have to satisfy him constantly to keep keep him as a customer. So one of the challenges people will be facing here is you will be actually having lot of challenges in satisfying the customers. Okay. So there must be satisfiers and delaters. So how do you capture the voice of customers? Correct. You capture the voice of customers by various tools, actually, which is surveys, which is actually talking to them one-on-one, which is by questionnaires, which is by interviews and phone calls. So many of the companies actually don't integrate this. They collect a lot of information of customer complaints, customers responses, customer suggestions, or customer queries, or internal customers, employees issues, but they don't analyze it and then try to take an action very structured way. So this particular Lean and Six Sigma is always talking about capturing the voice of customer. If you capture the voice of customer and work on it, it may take a lot of time for you to solve, but it will actually solve it very fast. Okay, so that's how it is. And again, repeating, voice of customer is the key essence of management tool in solving a problem. The fourth important tool, what we are talking here is SIPOC. The SIPOC is a very interesting tool, and many people don't follow this, even though it's simpler. But SIPOC stands for, I explained SIPOC, what is the acronym means. The very important is when you want to solve a bigger problem, you should map the process at the high level, which means that you should start from supplier to customer. So S stands for supplier, I stands for inputs, P stands for process, O stands for output, and C stands for customers. So this IPO is very famous term. Okay, so you need to understand the process, then you need to understand the input of the process, you need to understand output, you need to understand who is the supplier and who is the customer. It's important for people to understand the process and the key inputs and outputs and customers and suppliers before entering into the project. This tool looks like this. Okay, so when you come for mentoring with me, all these templates are ready-made available. You need to just fill up the things. You'll get the output like this. You first fill the process of the project, what you are trying to do. And for each of the steps, you identify the inputs and the outputs. And for each of the inputs, you identify the supplier and the customers, and the outputs customers. This is a very useful tool for explaining to the cross-functional team or explaining to any management what you are actually doing. And while doing this also, you will find who may be the right team members for you in the project. What is SIPOC? SIPOC is a helicopter view of a macro process of what project you are trying to do. And you will learn a lot of things while doing SIPOC. And that's and also you can mark the scope of the project, what you are doing. Very, very powerful tool. We can do it in different dimensions, but the simpler thing is what is expressed here. After SIPOC, and from the process of SIPOC, you can actually get into another tool, which is a very important tool called detailed process mapping. If your project is complex, okay, and you are doing a project in a continuous process industry or a manufacturing company, or you're doing a project with an equipment which has a lot of variables, okay, and the detailed process mapping is a tool which is used for mapping each step of the process into a micro level. And for each of the steps, you need to identify the key process input variable and key process output variable. And why we are doing this? This is nothing but bringing the plant into paper. Okay, so you just bring all the variables which is there in the process into the paper, because Lean Six Sigma is all about identifying the root cause. The root cause is nothing but the X input is what you need to identify, which is causing the problem in the Y. Okay, and this a process mapping will look like this, and so important. So you need to do it with the technical team and also the people who are involved in producing these production steps. This is mostly used in the manufacturing processes or any processes you want to identify the critical variables, input variables and the output variables. And this is exactly the measure phase we are talking about. These are all important in the measure phase, where you actually bring all the inputs and output into a paper. And from this, you filter, you prioritize the inputs, and that's the tool we are talking next. So out of 60, 70 variables you got, okay, and you know the CTQ. So you actually get into the tool where you need to actually prioritize, okay, and you prioritize such a way that you actually ensure that you only take the important variable to the next step. The important powerful management tool is prioritization matrix. It is the tool which combines the CTQ and the variables which you saw in the process mapping. It combines both, and you have a relationship matrix with a score of 139 to generate a prioritization score. And from there, you can logically filter it into variables which is affecting your project. So it is subjective, but you should do it with the experienced people. And the template is so powerful. So if you see at the top, all the CTQ, breaking the problem into smaller problems which are critical for your project, is written here. You give the weightage based on the relevance to your project. Suppose you are working on a quality of some of the output, you give 10. If this is not color is not affecting your project outcome, put it 3. So this is weightage to the project outcome. This is the input which is taken from the process mapping, and the scores are given based on the relation. If you have a strong relation with one CTQ good flavor, you put 9. If you have a very least relation, you give 1. If you have medium, you give 3. And the score is calculated based on the weightage into score, 10 into 9, 8 into 9 plus 3 into 1 plus 4 into 1. Same way for next one, 10 into 9 plus 8 into. So This is prioritization score. So you will get a score like this. You do it in the descending order. You take a logical cutoff so that you filter out of 60, you will be filtering the top important prioritization relevant to the project. Please understand this tool is making you to progress faster to identify the root cause, which is relevant to your current project. This CTQ and these variables will change based on your actual project. So this requires some mastery, which you will learn with us. Beautiful tool, swim lane diagram. Swim lane diagram, the swim lane, if you split and see, it is similar to the swimming pool. Okay, you have lanes of departments working in the company, but the problem is we don't measure who is doing what. The swim lane diagram is a beautiful tool of process mapping if you have only one variable called time, or if you want to measure the process with one variable time, or any variable you want to map, or you want to do flow diagram, use swim lane diagram. The swim lane diagram actually finds most of the time it captures very important observations. One, if you have a lot of decision boxes in your process flow, it means that there is a chances of rework, correct? And if you have a very long process step by one department, so I'll try to show it with an example like this. So if you see the steps are here, there are various departments who are sitting here. One department is doing their activity. But if you see some decision boxes here, decision boxes here, I think this process can have a lot of rework. But if the length of the process is also higher in one department, then that becomes a bottleneck. But if you also see the hands-off happening between one department to other department, then there is a waiting time. So the best way to check all the non-valid activity, that is what is written here, and then check the queues and inventories, and also see the decision boxes and back forth hands-off, and also see how you can simplify. So when you draw the swim lane diagram, you will see that if one person, let's say Philip, is gone on leave, this whole thing will get inventorized here and nothing is moving. And when some other quality person, let's say quality person is in the end of the process and he rejects here and comes totally back to the first step. So normally swim lane diagram, once you draw the as is state and you go for a future state, the future state could be as simplified as everybody coming and sitting together and doing the process. So it could be simplified from 40 steps to 5 steps. So swim lane diagram is a beautiful tool to map it for any processes which you are having in your current company or any businesses. The advanced tool, I would say, for the lean is value stream mapping. So we saw a detailed process mapping. The value stream mapping, as value means for which customer pays for, stream means end-to-end process you need to map from demand to plan to supply chain to manufacturing, and mapping entire process with clear information and material flows. So value stream mapping is a very, very powerful tools to understand the picture, current picture, and also identify value added, non-value added, and process efficiency. And then it actually brings the complete business into paper. So we saw process mapping bringing plan to paper, value stream mapping brings whole business into one paper. And very important is it also measures the information flow, which is the people's efficiency. Material flow is the plant efficiency. Very, very important. So the value stream mapping will look like this. If you see here, it starts from the information flow from the customer, and then it gets into the planning person, and then it gets into the supply chain planning part, and there's a procurement part, and from there your material comes and sits here, and this is your manufacturing execution, step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, and this is your planning, scheduling, which is being information flows. While your material is flowing, you are producing something with the units of cycle time, changeover time, uptime, and then there is a rejection and number of people operating. And then you will see that the customer only pays for the conversion of the material to the product. He doesn't pay for the air conditioning you are doing, or transportation you are doing, or the rework you are doing. So that's where you are capturing your VA and NVA. And the more the inventory, the more the NVA. And then you will see the process efficiency, and then you back to the shipping. So you can bring the whole business into one paper, and then you take the metrics and then work on as per the demand of the customer. It's a value stream mapping is an expert area. So you can learn slowly, but you should first know how to draw, and you have to draw it actually how it is there in the site. So you have to walk through. So you have to do a walkthrough to draw the value stream mapping. So you cannot sit in the room and draw. Okay. The other important tool which you should know is to identify the 8 waste in the value stream mapping. So the one of the acronym we are talking here is downtime. Toyota found that there are 8 waste, which is the acronym of downtime is pulling down any business. Okay. First is the defect. You do a lot of rework. Okay. And if defect is produced, everything is produced automatically. The overproduction, the waiting time is a lot of waste which is there in many of the companies. Right. If you don't utilize the talent who are working nearer to the equipment or the process, then you are wasting them actually. And unnecessary transportation, instead of sending in road, you are sending in flight, or you're doing multi-lots transportation, or you're just transporting here and there. Huge inventory, if you pile up, your cash flow is lost. The unnecessary motion which happens due to the wrong layouts and buildings or within the systems. Okay. And extra processing is nothing but customer doesn't want, but still you try to do a lot of stuff like extra processing. So keep in mind this tool of 8 waste of elimination, which you can find after value stream mapping, and you have a template. This is a tool whereby which is a simple tool which you can start putting the waste, whatever you're seeing type of waste, and come out with an action which could be quick win or which could be complex to go further and do it. So this template is also available along with the value stream mapping to eliminate the thing. So one of the thing what I have done in my past 15 years experience is make this value stream mapping so simple, so that it is very easy for any layman to fill it up and find the waste. So that's something I normally train people how to do that with my template. And till now, many people from many departments have used this and found it very useful. The other important tool is the fishbone analysis. The fishbone analysis is coming from the Ishikawa diagram, the 6 M's, and the research found that main material, machine, method, measurement, and mother nature causes the huge variation. If you can find out which M is contributing, then you can find easily the possible root cause. So fishbone diagram actually gives you all possible root causes, possible causes, not root cause, while you brainstorm with the people, and it will look like this. Okay. And when you brainstorm with the people for a problem, you can get all possible causes. But when you can combine this with the statistical information, then you can find the root cause. So fishbone diagram is a quite famous tool. You can do it for your personal problems. You can do it for a company's problems. Okay. And you can do it at any headings also. Here we can change, instead of 6 M's, you can change as per your requirement as well. Okay. The tool which connects the fishbone diagram to find the root cause is failure mode effect analysis. So the very important tool, many people don't use this because this is complex tool, they find it, but when I going to explain to you, it is a so simple tool. Actually, it's a combination of fishbone and failure mode. You bring all the causes of fishbone into failure mode analysis sheet. NASA used this for launching the rocket first time in the moon. Okay. So their space basically. So they did it. They found out all the risk and they successfully eliminated it. So fishbone diagram causes comes as causes, and here you will talk about failure modes. You talk about effect, and thereby you find a risk priority number, which is called severity, occurrence, and irritability, the rating of 1 to 10, and then you actually get into the which one is high risk. That's what you will find. And then you eliminate it. And this is a template you will be using. And whichever has high risk priority number, you will be focusing on that to find out the root cause. So that is a root cause. And severity, occurrence is the one, and irritability is the next important thing. So it talks about control, it talks about occurrences, and it talks about severity. The more focus on this tool is improving the irritability and reducing the occurrences. So once you do this, your risk priority number will reduce, and that is what you are going to do in the next tool. After you find the RPN, you need to find out which one you need to do first. Higher the RPN number you do first, and then focus on that actions so that your controls are there and your issues are not repeating. Thereby occurrences come down, and you recalculate the RPN again, correct? And that's this. Many people don't use this tool. Okay, after every 3 months, you have to use this tool to check whether your RPN number has reduced from 200 to 50 or 20. So this tool is something you have to implement it after taking actions and doing and checking what is now causing the problem and how the RPN looks like. It's very, very important tool. The next important tool is FIRES. FIRES is workplace organization, whereby you ensure that place for everything and everything in place. And you have all the elements of FIRES, which is a Japanese philosophy to sort the unwanted, arrange or maybe straighten the wanted, shine the wanted, and set the standards and sustain it. Okay. And 5 years improves everything. I'm telling you, the fundamental of any operational excellence is doing 5 years for the employee. And we have a tool called 5 years audit sheet. And if you use that, you will see the workplace transforming into, in fact, I do this for in my home as well. And it's very easy for us to find out the things and becoming more productive. And organizing our own table itself is a 5 years. You have a lot of stuff in the Google. You can work on that and it will look like this. Okay.
Sorry for the interruption. We're left with 10 more minutes.
Yeah,
we'll quickly move to the statistical tools.
Yeah. We'll extend it, but we'll finish off everything. Don't worry. Okay, fine. So Kaizen is something is a continuous improvement. I don't want to tell about this. Kaizen tool is something we'll talk about this. It's a tool with a template of continuous improvement, and this is how the template is there. So you can use this for generating ideas from each of the people. And then you have a control plan in the management tool. After doing all the improvements, how do you control the process? How do you actually ensure that it is integrated with SOP is very important. And you have a tool of control plan. So now let's move on to the 15 statistical tool in next 15 minutes, and then we'll cover up the end part of Q&A. Okay. So in the statistical tool, okay, I would like to say that there is a software called Minitab software, which actually brings you the data interpretation. It is similar to Excel, but you have a lot of tools, and this is a powerful tool which we normally coach, and we always give some operational Minitab for you to work, and it's available also 30 days trial. And these are the tools related to DMAC. Let's go one by one. Histogram. So histogram is a tool which is used for finding the variation of the data. Okay, and you would have studied this in 10th standard, but when you put the data, it organizes and gives you like this, so that you'll come to know whether the data has variation or data does not have any variation. It's a very, very useful tool for understanding the variation. The next statistical tool in the master class which you are learning is the graphical summary. Graphical summary has 3-4 tools in this. Okay, one is histogram, one is box plot, one is interval plot, and in the right side you have all the descriptive statistics. The graphical summary is a very powerful tool of understanding the statistical information of the base data of problem you are solving, and you have to collect data and do this, and you can find whether data is normal or not normal, and also you can identify the basic statistic information of average value and the variations. Normalities test. All the statistics is taught around the normal distribution. A normal distribution is a bell curve. When you cut it to equal parts, it becomes equal. But if you want to test whether your data is normal or not, because normal distribution, if it's there, it's easy to go ahead and analyze. If it's a non-normal, then we have to use a different method. So there is a methodology which is probability plot, which actually does the analysis of checking if all the points lie in the line, it's normal. If it's not lying, it's non-normal. Okay, and very important as a part of analyzing the data. The run chart is similar to the chart you draw in Excel. Okay, but in the Minitab, it gives you more of understanding the variations below the median and above the median. The line which is coming in run chart is median, and you can subgroup as well, but it is basically try to understand the variation happening in the data. Control chart is one of the very, very important chart used for the quality analysis. The control chart has a line, it's called individual chart or individual moving range. At the top, you have individual chart. So you have the individual charts, you have the line called mean, which is the green color line. And above that, there is a upper control limit and lower control limit, which automatically comes. And then you see some points above the control limit, some points within the control limits. Any points outside the limits are called special causes. Any points within the limits are called common causes. So easy to find the special causes and important to use DMAC to analyze the common causes. The plus or minus 3 sigma is the rough estimate of mean versus limits. The more the standard deviation, the more the wider will be the limits. And that's exactly what you should understand when you do. The moving range is nothing but difference in the each component, each value of the data. It's indirectly the standard deviation. So you can draw individual charts and analyze the control charts. Pareto chart, you all know that 80-20. The Pareto chart is used to prioritize the focus for you to solve the problems. Very, very, very powerful and useful, simple tool. Okay. And in Minitab, you can analyze it. For that, you should have a description and the frequency. And once you put that, it gives you the descending order of bar graph with a cumulative percentage. And you can find out which is contributing 80%. In this case, scratch and chip contributes almost 75% of the issues. And Pareto can be used for any data starting from marketing to the process. So this is box plot. Sorry, there was a mistake in the left side. This is box plot. And box plots actually has this kind of representation where you have the outlier, which is we call it as special causes. There's a minimum, there's a lower quartile, median, upper quartile, maximum. And when you want to analyze any data on how it's distributed, okay, box plot is very, very useful. The line which comes in the box plot is median. And when you see this quartiles, which means that 25% of the data is what it represents. So Q1 represents 25% of the data, and Q3 represents 75% of the data, and the maximum Q4 upper limit analyzes almost 100% data. So there are some outliers which you can eliminate and you can ensure data. And the important component of box plot is to identify variation. The smaller the box, better is the process. The key tool of Six Sigma is all about process capability. Process capability is measurement of Six Sigma. It captures voice of customer, which is a specification, lowest specification and upper specification, which you enter. Okay, it won't come automatically. And the histogram is the voice of data. Voice of process is LSL, USL. Histogram is voice of process. Once you give this data, you get the statistics in the left side. You get the CP, CPK in the right side, which is indirect measurement of the sigma level, quality of the data. The DPMO, defects per million opportunity, is what is measured here, which is equivalent to some Six Sigma level. And the CPK should be 1.33 if you are having a world-class process. So it's 0.83 here. So you need to reduce variation. You have some defects so that process is capable. The process is capable, which means customer exactly gets the product what he wants. So there is a discrete data which measures the Six Sigma, which is defects per opportunity, which is nothing but number of defects by number of units. Suppose you are counting some, you are taking a lot and you found some out of 1,000 bottles, you found 5 bottles defect. Then you can use this to find the sigma of the Six Sigma of the process with the opportunities. And once you get the DPMO, you have a table of Six Sigma which can correlate and give you the sigma levels. So this is for the discrete data, that is non-continuous data, and this is for continuous data. The hypothesis testing, after you complete the project, the management will ask you, are you sure that you have improved the process? And this is what will tell you whether you are actually done the improvement or not. So it comes in the improve phase, where you compare the data of before and after, and with respect to the p-value, which will come as the value significance, you will take a decisions. In this case, p-value is 0.701, which means that the mean does not have much of significance. So in this case, there is no difference of the BTU before and after. So that means that you can do this change. There's not a problem. So decision making becomes very fast. Validation with the number of data is very important. So you cannot do hypothesis testing with few data. You have to take more data. Analysis variance is part of hypothesis testing, but in this case, you can do for multiple variables, means. So you can take 5, 6, let's say carpet durability, and then you can check the analysis of variance between those carpets, between the means, with the same objective of p less than 0.05 is size significance, and also checking the mean value. So in this case, you found that it's significant. So the mean values are significant, different, and the maximum durability is coming from carpet 4. So ANOVA is used when you want to compare various means and take decisions. Scatter plot is used for understanding the correlations, positive correlation, negative correlations. So in this diagram, you don't see, you can see a slight negative correlation, but a very important thing is you can use the value of correlation coefficient, but you can also see from pictorially by drawing a line, you can see whether things, it's very useful to check the relationship of two variables. So you can draw scatter chart, but if you're very expert, you can get into a multi-scatter plot, which is called matrix plot. Okay. So this will give you to find out quick relationship between multi-variables, like four variables, or one output with four variables. You can easily find out relationship and take decisions on which has more relationship, which are critical variables. So matrix plot is my favorite because it captures, it looks complex, but it's very simple to analyze. Okay, so use matrix plot as a part of thing. Regression is a model which gives you a predictive model. So when you have a data, you can actually predict the values of the future using regression. And I want all of you to use the regression model for predicting the variables, output variables. So it requires data. If you feed the data, you will automatically get the relationship of whether more than 80% is a strong model to predict. Final last one, but design of experiments. Design of experiments is a beautiful tool, which is itself is a subject, but you learn from us all these things, and it actually optimizes the process further and brings you the best out of the experiments, and it gives you the right combinations, and it reduces the cost, and it gives the more reliability. So design of experiments also gives you the model for you to operate at the best design space. So this is one of the best tool for optimizing continuously, and this is the last tool in the statistical. So with this, I just complete the exercise of masterclass of exposing you all the 30 tools. So Vijay, we'll go for Q&A. We have a time for Q&A. Don't worry. I think we need to go up to 11:15 because that was my original time. So Vijay, can we have the polls on these 3 questions, please?
Yes, Dr. The polls.
So I know I went rush, but I'm going to be there as a lifetime coach for you guys. So please give me your responses, which could be motivating for me. Yeah, some people found it partially useful because when you learn this with sort of complete understanding, you will really find where it can be applicable, and you'll always see that this is very thing. So I think most of 90% or 88% of the people are finding it useful. And one who wants to really understand this is by applying this. Okay, and you will find it very interesting of this. So thank you. Yeah, can you go for the next question? Yeah. So this is done. Yeah, thank you very much. Management tool. Some people felt thing. Statistical tool. Let's come to statistical tool. Yeah, I did it slightly fast, but I just want to expose you that there's a simple way of learning statistics. Okay, don't think that statistics is something only few people can do. Okay, statistics is a tool where you feed data and you infer. If you have a decision making capacity and if you have some knowledge of mathematics, I think you can certainly learn this. Okay, yeah, so statistical tool is something slightly always makes people discomfort, which is also coming up in the poll 2. But I'll assure you that
but still close to 80% of them
80% out of 78. Yeah, that's very good. The point where it's coming is still people are having in their mind statistics is not for me, which is a wrong myth. Okay, go to the next one. Yeah, and you can also set up the Google form, feedback form also, Vijay, by parallelly to all of you. So I want all of you to fill the Google form by the time we take you through the very important thing. Yeah, so I'm going to dedicate myself for most of the people to mentor this. Okay, and I'll ensure that all of you are getting good amount of knowledge, which I have taken it over a period of time, and I'll ensure that it's taught very simple way. And I actually blend my coaching and mentoring into this for your personal growth first, and then to the organization you are working for. Okay, good. So around 90% of the people are allowed to actually keen to come. That's very interesting. Yeah, good.
So I request everyone to just take a few minutes to click on the Google form.
Can you take some photo sessions? I hope here you would have taken some snapshots. Yeah, but I just want to take some few photos. Vijay, you can.
So people, if you could just turn on your cameras.
Great. Go ahead. Just try to take all the 100 people here. Once you are done, let us know. Okay. You here?
The cameras here.
No, not a problem. If you are not comfortable, don't come in camera. No problem. Just Vijay, let us know.
Yes. One more. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay, thanks. Okay, so now I just want to take you through the next part of things. Okay, so we actually I actually do, I told you at 4 to 5 hours, and there's a Google form which Vijay will be putting it, which I just put that Google forms for people.
It's already live.
Yeah, you ensure that you ensure people are filling it. And the career planning, career mentoring is very important. I always felt that I need a coach, I need a mentor. Okay, and we need to follow them, and that makes a lot of difference. And getting a mentor, right coach is one important thing. I just proposing myself ready for you, and I have seen many of my people growing as well. And so what is also important is getting a professional certification after knowing the skills, correct? Where you get the right certification. My signature speaks a lot, and I can be I can be a reference for you, I can be a lifetime coach for you, and then you can achieve the personal goals. Yeah, so as I told, very important is not only me, try to identify who is the right mentor and coach for you, and go there and do it. Okay, so we have weekend sections. I do only 1 hour per week, one courses, where I'll give a lot of e-modules, but I also train people in these 30 tools leading to black belt certification. But we will also give you modules to learn more and more tools, more than 100 tools in Minitab, which you can practice it and become expert, and then apply in the project. So we also align the whole content in the ASQ body of knowledge, so that I don't teach each and every line of book, but I can clarify all the doubts in that book, but also giving you the e-module which can clarify the modules very effectively. Very important thing is you should learn with fun and seriousness, correct? And that's important. So while you join our course of black belt from IIEL, which is a Singapore partnered company, which provides a certification from Singapore only for exclusive for my course. And basically we are planning to give a discount of 16% when you enroll 17th October. And if you register in the Google form, we'll be able to actually take you through that. And then we will be giving you all the resources and things so that you can actually get into the mastery level of black belt program, including applying in the workplace. And I'll be a lifetime mentor for you. But this is something we are ensuring that you get everything in one package for you to grow and enjoy, and then grow in the organization as well. And this is how the certification will look like, because all are important. Knowledge and skill is very important than certificate. So that's what I learned. Many times I have taken certification after I acquired the knowledge and skill and applied in the workplace, just to ensure that I say the world that I'm an expert. But many people take certificate, and when they go for interview, they actually face a lot of problems in answering basic questions. That's what I will be covering. So suppose when you join with me, when you're getting a job or any interview, you just call me 2 days before. I will prepare you for the interview so that you can how to explain the project, how to answer certain questions of Lean and Six Sigma, how to equip yourself when you go for leadership positions. All coaching will be done. I'll be a lifetime coach for you. Okay, and that's how it is.
Dr.
Yeah.
I would like to just underscore that IIEL is the first institute in India to provide this professional training and certification in CLSSBB, aligned to ASQ body of knowledge gold standards.
No, not only first, I would say we are the first one for the master black belt. There are a lot of people giving for black belt. The master black belt we only give. Okay, that's a major thing. So finally, from my side, I believe in this. Competence leads to confidence. Confidence leads to commitment. Commitment leads to happiness. And once you have a knowledge and skill with you, commitment, you will enjoy in what you do, and happiness leads to the results automatically. Okay. So I just pause here. I hope all of you are filling the form. Okay. And please give your feedback in the Google form. And I'm very happy for the sessions who attended by more than 100 people. But this is a journey of awareness I'm bringing, that there is a guy called Arvindan for you to come and take mentoring for lifetime. And we learn, I learn, you learn, and then we all make the country proud and the organization proud, and as well as your family can grow, and the next generation actually knows more than what we know. Okay. Yeah, I'm open for the questions. You can raise the hands. Vijay will actually articulate one by one. So anybody have any questions, please now open up. I have another 6 minutes for you. Yeah, Ranjit. Go ahead, Ranjit.
Hello.
Yeah, Ranjit. Go ahead.
Yeah, hi sir. Just one information, sir. So we spoke. If we have greater than 5 years, we can apply for BB. If we have greater than 10 years, we can apply for MBB. So I have GB certificate. So directly, can I go for MBB? I have 11 years of experience.
Yeah, you can go for MBB, but still, I would like you to. We have a combo of BB and MBB. You can join that because in the MBB you have to manage the BB, correct? Black belt, Ranjit. So what I meant to say is you can directly go to MBB means through some awareness of BB. You have to complete black belt and then only you can do BB. Since you are GB, you have a combo course where you can learn BB along with MBB. The final certification will be both. And so that because you have to manage the black belts, no, you should know what black belts are doing. So that course also will be taken. So yes, the answer is yes, but you will be also taught on black belt. You will be given dual certification, black belt and master black belt. When you do for a 6 months course, it will be a 8 months course. Ranjit,
Okay,
because Ranjit, see, you need to demonstrate some projects of black belt. Okay, and that's very important. You would have done a lot of projects, so we need to look into that. But master black belt is a management subject, so you can actually do master black belt, and you can get certified also, provided more than 10 years experience. But that will be more a certification of leadership excellence. But if you want to really be in the field of Lean and Six Sigma, you have to be black belt as well.
clear.
Thanks, Kannan. Yeah, thank you very Kannan for joining from Canada. Yeah. Any other doubt from anyone?
Hello.
Yeah. Hirak.
Yeah, sir, Hirak here.
Yeah, Hirak.
Like, I want to understand, like, you in the management tool number 5, you mentioned detailed process map, KPIP types as SCU. So, what is that? If you can just brief.
So basically, it has the type of variables. What we see is there are different type of variables. Okay, so one is we say as a noise variable. We say as a variable which measures, let's say, temperature, pressure, and all. So we call it as an input variable. So one is the system variable. So those type of variables is what we are categorized into those kind of measures. Level. So when you measure, there could be a constant also, no. So there could be constant, there could be a variable which is input variable, there could be a system variable, there could be a noise variable. So that is how it is classified. So it's a category of the variables you are measuring.
So what is S and what is U? U type of variable.
So U is basically okay. 1 minute, maybe that particular example I'll go back and see that. So one is the system variable, one is I don't get that U now, but it's more of talk. If you go to that variable, you'll see it's related to that. Okay, so don't pick it up from that example, but important is the template which you should see it. Okay.
Okay.
So if you go and see the variable, you'll come to know what is U. So today if you go back and see that, you will get to know. So it's a nature of the variable we are talking there. Okay.
Okay.
Any other question?
Hi, this is Akash.
Hey, Akash. Yeah.
Yeah. So in MBB, the course is more on the technical, or is it more on the leadership soft skills?
The MBB course is completely body of knowledge of ASQ handbook. So it's a leadership excellence. Yeah. All the 23 chapters of ASQ will be covered in that MBB.
And the books are offline available, or it's a part of that course only? Can you purchase also separately?
You will get everything in that. Okay. Handbook is available. Handbook is available. You can read that, but it will be so complex to read without mentoring. So in the course, we will have a mentoring session of MBB, 1 hour with me every Sunday, and then you'll get the international certification once you complete the portion. So we have a LMS which gives you the module, and you have to go through that module of videos, and then come for the mentoring session. Thereby, you cover all the 23 chapters. So we'll give the details once you show the interest. We'll send you all the details.
Would like to have the details on MBB.
Sure, Akash. Okay, just fill that Google form. Already a lot of people are doing with me, and nobody in Asia or Europe does ASQ MBB other than me.
So can you share that link on the group, WhatsApp group, because this is company PC, we are unable to access the link due to certain policy.
We'll send you the Google form. Yeah, okay, got it. Noted down.
In the WhatsApp group.
Yeah, sure.
Thanks.
We'll send the Google form, the WhatsApp group. Yeah. Any other question? Okay, thank you all very much. I think 11:15 is the time. I had a cutoff 11:14. Thank you all very much for showing this. And we had more than 118 or somebody people joining this, and there was more than 250 registrations. I think still people will listen to my recording. Thank you, Vijay, for hosting this very well as usual. And I think we are ready to actually log off, and we'll catch up with the next career coaching webinar or masterclass, which I'm planning in coming 10 days. Okay. Thank you all very much. You can all log off now. And thanks for attending this masterclass with me.
Thank you.
We'll be sending an email also, Google Forms. You can fill it up. Okay, no problem. Mihir and Vijay, stay back.
Okay, thank you, Doctor.
Thank you, Vinod. Stop the recording, Vijay.